Netflix, that's going negative for the year as more competitors rush into that space. Michal, you have your cover story on Netflix that details the company's big bet on original content and the women that are leading that charge. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so it's interesting because, obviously we've seen Netflix go through pivots in the past. Those have been technological pivots. The move to streaming, for example, is the biggest one probably. But now Netflix is finding itself in a very different place where content is king. You've got all these other streaming services coming out. A lot of them are being priced at lower price points than Netflix is offering. And so it really finds itself having to compete on content. And a part of its strategy is it's hired on these really diverse group of people to kind of create content for everyone on a global level.
Stephanie, Netflix has gone negative for the year. It gave up a 46% gain. Folks come on, they talk about competitors and the fact that, they're getting ready to go into their biggest battle yet in terms of, the race for eyeballs and keeping subscribers. Is it overdone, though, when you see a 46% reversal?
I think a 46% reversal does feel like a big drop, but I'll point to something from Michal's story, which I think was really interesting, and it was a great cover story. Congratulations, Michal. Ted Sarandos says in that story, we started as a tech company, but we've really become a media and entertainment company. And so if you are putting it out there that you're a media and entertainment company, I think you need to be prepared to be valued like a media and entertainment company as opposed to being valued as a tech company. And certainly the way that they're operating, the way they're spending, where they're putting all of their energies does feel a lot more like a content company than a tech company.
Michal, it seems to me that something fundamental about Netflix is about to be tested, and that is how much value can they extract from all the data they've got. I feel like what they sold is this idea that they've got so much data on consumer tastes, on what they're going to want to see, that they can develop content for a better price, targeting a specific demographic that's going to keep them on the platform. Disney doesn't have that data. Apple doesn't have that data. But if they steal Netflix's customers, does that disprove a big part of Netflix's tech thesis?
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be tested in the coming years. One point that you need to keep in mind also is even though Netflix has this advantage, these other players don't have the data, both because they haven't had the time to invest in it and to build it out, and they maybe don't have the audience that would actually help to populate that data. But they will catch up. And so not only is this going to be tested now, like how valuable is this really to Netflix, but how valuable is it to other players? And is it really a competitive advantage? Because I don't think it will be for long.
This goes back to the conversation we've been having for a couple of years now, and that is, what would you rather be, the content player who has the brand and needs the data, or the data company, the phone company in some cases, who wants to be a content player and needs a brand, right? Who's got the biggest ask?
It's the classic content versus distribution question. It's very hard to use data to create the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'll always bet on a really great content creator over artificial intelligence and data any of the day of the week.
All right, finally to another FANG name, Facebook acquiring startup Control Labs, a company creating software designed to let humans control computers with only their thoughts. Stephanie, what?
So I actually have an interesting theory on this. I think Facebook should embrace this acquisition and position it as tech for good. It would be an incredible PR move. There are already a lot of scientists who are developing these neural technologies that enable people who aren't able to speak to use their brain waves to communicate and tell people what they're actually thinking, to use this technology for good. I think some of the examples from this company are that they're using an armband to help, with muscle control and things like that. I think if Facebook wants to push into this acquisition, they could use a PR win. I think this is a real opportunity to go out there and use this as a tech for good platform.
Even though they get even larger, right? Trust us, we're going to be good now, but we're larger.
Well, I mean, they are larger, but if they lead with something, if instead of saying this is going to be mind control, if they position this as, here's how we can give voice to the voiceless, here's how we can give movement to people who can't move, I think it could be a win for them.
Michal, in a way, this links in directly to artificial intelligence and sort of what you need in order to control an AI environment. But does this also show that Facebook is plowing ahead with smaller acquisitions despite this antitrust scrutiny that they're under?
Well, they have to keep innovating, just because they're under scrutiny right now and they're getting fined and they're getting hit from different sides. they have to keep innovating. And how has Facebook innovated over the last few years? It's made acquisitions. So I think this is not that surprising.
What do you think it signals about the future of Facebook and the direction Mark Zuckerberg's looking to go?
I mean, I would expect them to do a lot more on the payment side, private messaging in that area. They haven't exactly shown us how they're going to monetize this new direction that they're going in. The neural interface stuff, I mean, it's kind of something that a lot of different people are doing this. I mean, Elon Musk is invested in this. So they have to show that they're making some kind of progress. They've been at it for a few years. This isn't an entirely new area for them. So I think they're going to have to keep innovating across a lot of different areas. But really, where they've said they're pivoting to, this isn't it, at least not yet.